today's video, we're going to uncover 5 common sleep mistakes you should never repeat because they're silently working against your brain, body, and overall health. Then, we'll walk through 5 practical fixes you can start tonight to finally enjoy deeper, more restorative rest. The kind that helps you wake up feeling clear, calm, and capable again. Because it's not just about how long you sleep, it's about how well you sleep. Let's start with the biggest mistake many seniors are still making, and might not even realize it. Sleep mistake number 1. Going to bed at a different time every night. It's a habit that many seniors fall into without realizing the harm it's causing. Going to bed at different times each night. One evening, it's lights out at 9 p.m. The next, it's closer to midnight. Sometimes you stay up late to finish a show or talk with family. Other times you turn in early because you're feeling tired. It may seem flexible and harmless, but for your body, this inconsistency is far from relaxing. Your sleep is guided by an internal timekeeper called the circadian rhythm. A 24-hour cycle that regulates everything from your sleep and wake patterns to your hormones, digestion, and even body temperature. This rhythm is extremely sensitive to timing cues, especially as you get older. And when you go to bed at different times each night, your brain doesn't know when to start winding down or when to expect rest. The result? You may find yourself lying awake, waking up frequently, or feeling groggy, even after what seemed like a full night's sleep. As we age, our circadian system becomes less flexible. Melatonin, the hormone that tells our body it's time to sleep, is produced in smaller amounts and at less predictable times. If your bedtime keeps shifting, your body can't keep up. You might feel sleepy at 8:30 p.m. one night and wired at 10 p.m. the next. Or you might fall asleep easily one evening, only to wake at 3 a.m. the next morning and struggle to get back to sleep. These fluctuations are not random. They're the result of a misaligned body clock. The solution is surprisingly simple, yet profoundly effective. Set a consistent bedtime. Choose a time that fits your natural rhythm, not too early, not too late, and stick to it. Try to go to bed within the same 30-minute window every night, even on weekends or after a poor night's sleep. Over time, this regularity helps your brain recognize that sleep is coming and prepares the body accordingly. You'll start releasing melatonin at the right time, winding down more easily, and falling asleep with less effort. At the same time, maintain a regular wake-up time. Resist the temptation to sleep in too late if you had a restless night. Doing so only delays your body clock further and makes it harder to sleep the following night. Instead, get up at your usual time, get some natural sunlight, and stay active throughout the day to reinforce your rhythm. It might take a few days or even a couple of weeks to reset your system. But once your circadian rhythm locks in, sleep becomes easier, deeper, and more predictable. And that's exactly what your body needs to repair, recharge, and keep you sharp during the day. Because better sleep doesn't start with more hours in bed. It starts with giving your body a steady rhythm it can rely on. Sleep mistake number 2, using screens right before bedtime. It's tempting. The phone is in your hand, the TV remote is within reach, and maybe your tablet's glowing softly on the nightstand. For many seniors, using screens before bed has become second nature. Whether it's catching up on the news, scrolling through social media, or watching a show to unwind, these habits may seem harmless, but they're quietly disrupting your body's ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. Here's the science. Screens emit blue light, a short wavelength light that tells your brain it's still daytime. That's a problem, especially at night when your body is supposed to be winding down. Blue light suppresses melatonin production, the hormone responsible for signaling your body that it's time to sleep. And as we age, our natural melatonin levels already decline, meaning that even a small amount of light from screens can dramatically affect how easily we fall asleep. But the problem doesn't stop with light. What we consume on screens matters too. Late-night news, stimulating TV shows, or endless social media scrolling spikes cortisol, the body's stress hormone. That's the exact opposite of what you want at night. Instead of feeling drowsy and calm, your brain is pushed into a state of alertness and emotional stimulation, making it much harder to ease into rest. And for seniors who are more prone to anxiety, light sleep, and nighttime wakefulness, this can create a cycle of fatigue and frustration that feels impossible to break. The fix is clear and surprisingly effective. Start a digital sunset routine. About 1 hour before your target bedtime, turn off all screens. phones, tablets, computers, even bright TVs. Let that time become a sanctuary of calm. Replace screens with quiet, grounding habits that signal to your brain it's time to let go, like reading a physical book, writing in a journal, listening to soft music, or practicing deep breathing or light stretching. And if you need light during this hour, choose warm, dim lighting, like soft bedside lamps or amber bulbs. Avoid harsh overhead lighting or cool white LEDs that mimic daylight. These small shifts help reinforce your body's circadian rhythm and encourage melatonin production right when you need it most. By removing screens from your pre-sleep routine, you're not giving something up, you're making space for better sleep. You're teaching your brain to relax, your body to release tension, and your nervous system to slow down naturally, gently, and without disruption. Because real rest begins long before your head touches the pillow. It starts with your habits, your environment, and the message you send to your brain each night. The day is over, it's time to rest. And that's a message no screen will ever deliver. Sleep mistake number 3. Napping too long or too late in the day. A nap in the afternoon can feel like a luxury, a chance to rest your eyes, reset your energy, and take a break from the day. But for many seniors, naps that are too long or poorly timed can quietly sabotage their nighttime sleep. What feels like a short, harmless rest can throw off your entire sleep rhythm and leave you struggling to fall asleep or waking up multiple times during the night. Here's why this happens. As we get older, our sleep architecture, the structure and depth of our sleep cycles, naturally changes. We tend to sleep lighter, wake up more frequently, and spend less time in the deep, restorative stages of sleep. At the same time, it's also common to feel drowsier during the day, especially in the early afternoon. So it makes sense that many seniors turn to napping to catch up or refresh. But here's the problem. Napping too long or too late in the day reduces your body's natural drive to sleep at night, a biological process called sleep pressure. Sleep pressure builds throughout the day, making you feel increasingly tired. When you nap too long or nap too close to bedtime, you release that pressure too early, leaving your body less ready to fall asleep when you actually want to. This often leads to a frustrating pattern. You can't fall asleep until late, or you wake up every few hours. Then you feel tired the next day, nap again to recover, and the cycle continues. Over time, this damages your sleep quality and leaves you feeling foggy, irritable, and drained, even if you're technically getting enough hours of sleep. So how do you nap the right way? Aim for a power nap of just 20 to 30 minutes and keep it earlier in the day, ideally before 2 or 3 p.m. This short nap is enough to restore alertness and improve mood without pushing your brain into deeper stages of sleep, which can leave you groggy or disrupt your sleep later. Also, nap in a chair or on the couch, not your bed. Your brain needs to associate your bed with nighttime sleep only. When you nap in bed, you blur the mental lines between daytime rest and nighttime sleep, which can confuse your body's internal clock. If you find yourself nodding off after dinner or in the early evening, that's a sign your sleep routine may need a reset. Instead of giving in to a late nap, try standing, walking, or doing light stretches until your actual bedtime. Because the goal isn't to eliminate naps, it's to time them wisely. When done correctly, a nap can lift your energy and sharpen your mind. But when done poorly, it becomes a hidden thief, robbing you of the deeper, healing sleep you need most at night. Sleep mistake number 4. Eating heavy meals or late-night snacks before bed. It's a familiar habit for many. A late dinner after a long day, a small dessert while watching TV, or a midnight snack to hold you over until morning. But if you're over 60 and still struggling with restless nights, these seemingly innocent choices might be silently sabotaging your sleep. The reason is simple but powerful. Your body isn't built to digest and rest at the same time. Digestion is an active process. It requires energy, increased blood flow to your stomach, and the release of digestive enzymes, all things that keep your system awake and alert. When you eat close to bedtime, especially heavy, fatty, or spicy meals, your body stays focused on breaking down that food instead of entering the slower, restorative rhythms of sleep. This can trigger acid reflux, bloating, indigestion, or a full feeling that makes it hard to relax, get comfortable, or fall into a deep sleep. For seniors who already experience slower digestion and may take medications that affect the gut, this effect can be even more pronounced. Instead of easing into sleep, your body stays busy, and that leaves your mind restless too. Even light snacks, if eaten too late, can throw off your system. Foods high in sugar or refined carbs spike your blood sugar, giving you a quick hit of energy just when your brain should be winding down. That sugar spike is usually followed by a crash, which can wake you up suddenly, cause night sweats, or disrupt your sleep cycle. And the result? You wake up feeling groggy, not rested, even if you got a full 8 hours. So how can you fix this? Start by aiming to finish your last full meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. This gives your body enough time to digest your food, stabilize your blood sugar, and shift into a calmer, more restful state. If you truly feel hungry before bed, opt for a light, sleep-friendly snack, something that won't disrupt digestion. Good options include a small banana, a few walnuts or almonds, a slice of whole grain toast, or a cup of warm, caffeine-free herbal tea like chamomile or lemon balm. Also, steer clear of alcohol and caffeine in the evening. Alcohol may make you feel sleepy at first, but it disrupts your sleep architecture and increases nighttime awakenings. Caffeine, even if consumed 6 hours before bed, can still reduce deep sleep and leave you feeling foggy in the morning. The bottom line? Sleep isn't just about lying down, it's about how you prepare your body to shut down. And giving your stomach time to settle might just be the most underrated step in creating the calm, uninterrupted sleep you've been missing. Sleep mistake number 5, staying in bed when you can't fall asleep. You know the feeling. You've gone to bed, turned off the lights, and closed your eyes, but your mind won't stop spinning. Minutes turn into an hour, maybe more. You check the clock, you roll over, you fluff the pillow, still wide awake. For many seniors, this is a nightly battle. And the natural instinct to just lie there and wait for sleep to come is one of the worst mistakes you can make for your sleep health. Why? Because when you stay in bed awake for too long, your brain starts to associate your bed with wakefulness instead of rest. This creates a powerful and unhelpful link in your mind. Bed equals frustration. Bed equals thinking. Bed equals effort. The more often this happens, the more conditioned your brain becomes to expect wakefulness in bed, not sleep. For older adults who already deal with lighter sleep and more nighttime awakenings, this pattern quickly becomes a vicious cycle. You lie down hoping to fall asleep, but instead your brain stays alert, your body tenses up, and your anxiety rises, all of which makes sleep even more elusive. It becomes a nightly loop of trying, failing, and dreading bedtime. So how do you break this cycle? If you've been in bed for more than 20 to 30 minutes without falling asleep, or if you wake in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep, it's time to take action, quietly and gently. Get out of bed. Move to another room if possible, or even a nearby chair. Keep the lights dim. Avoid screens, bright lights, or anything stimulating. Instead, do something calming. Read a few pages of a book. Listen to soft music or an audiobook. Do slow, deep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. The goal isn't to force yourself to sleep. It's to help your body and mind naturally unwind until you feel genuinely sleepy again. Once you start to feel that drowsy heaviness return, not just boredom or frustration, go back to bed and try again. And if you still can't sleep, repeat the process, patiently and without judgment. Over time, this teaches your brain that bed is for sleep only, not stress, problem solving, or lying awake. With consistency, your mind will begin to relearn that your bed is a safe, restful place, not a battleground of restless thoughts. Because real sleep doesn't come from forcing or fixing. It comes from trusting your body's rhythms, removing the pressure, and giving your mind space to let go. And sometimes, the best path to sleep isn't staying still. It's knowing when to step away and return when the moment is right. Now that you've seen the most common sleep mistakes, from screen time to inconsistent bedtimes to restless tossing and turning, it's clear that small habits can quietly chip away at your rest. But the good news? Every one of these mistakes has a fix. And starting tonight, you can create a nighttime routine that doesn't just help you fall asleep faster, it helps you wake up feeling more restored, more focused, and more in control of your day. Let's move into the next section, the 5 sleep habits you can begin tonight to improve your sleep, naturally, gently, and consistently. Starting with the one that sets the tone for your entire evening. Sleep fix number 1, create a consistent wind-down routine. If you want to fall asleep more easily and stay asleep longer, your body needs clear signals that it's time to rest, and that starts with a wind-down routine. Think of this as a nightly ritual that gradually shifts your body and brain out of day mode and into a state of calm, ready for deep sleep. For seniors especially who may be dealing with more stress, lighter sleep, or frequent nighttime waking, this kind of intentional pre-bed routine is a game changer. It doesn't need to be long or complicated, it just needs to be consistent. Start about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. Dim the lights around your home. Turn off all screens, phones, tablets, TVs, and switch to quiet, relaxing activities. This could include reading a printed book, listening to soft music, doing a few gentle stretches, or taking a warm bath. You can also try simple breathing exercises or meditation. Even 5 minutes of deep, slow breaths can calm your nervous system, lower cortisol levels, and help your mind settle. If you enjoy herbal teas, a cup of chamomile or lemon balm tea can become a soothing part of this ritual. And make sure your sleep environment is inviting, cool, quiet, and dark. These small steps, done regularly, train your brain to recognize bedtime and prepare your body to release melatonin naturally. The key is consistency. When your body gets the same calming cues night after night, it begins to respond automatically, making it easier to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling truly rested. Because great sleep doesn't just start when your head hits the pillow. It starts before that, with the choices you make leading up to it. Sleep fix number 2. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. One of the most powerful ways to improve your sleep, and one of the easiest to overlook, is to set a consistent sleep schedule. That means going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. It may sound simple, but for seniors struggling with sleep disturbances or fatigue, this single habit can restore balance to your entire system. Your body runs on an internal clock known as the circadian rhythm, which regulates sleep, hormones, digestion, and even body temperature. When that rhythm stays steady, your body knows when to release melatonin, when to feel sleepy, and when to naturally wake up. But when you shift your bedtime frequently, staying up late one night and turning in early the next, your rhythm gets confused and sleep becomes lighter, shorter, and more fragmented. Seniors are especially sensitive to these disruptions, since melatonin production and sleep drive both naturally decline with age. A regular schedule acts like a gentle anchor, helping your body relearn its natural sleep-wake pattern and giving you more restorative, deep sleep in return. So where do you start? Choose a realistic bedtime and wake-up time based on when you naturally start to feel sleepy in the evening. Stick to that schedule within a 30-minute window, even if you had a restless night or a nap during the day. Over time, your body will begin to sync, making it easier to fall asleep without effort and wake up feeling more refreshed without an alarm clock. And remember, consistency is key. It's not about perfection, it's about sending your body the same message every day. This is when we rest, and this is when we rise. Because when your body knows what to expect, it delivers exactly what you need: deep, reliable, and healing sleep. Sleep fix number 3. Get morning sunlight, first thing after waking. One of the simplest and most overlooked ways to reset your sleep is to do something the moment you wake up. Go outside and get natural light. Just 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight can help realign your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep later that night and stay asleep longer. Here's why this works. Your body has a built-in circadian rhythm, and it depends on light to know what time it is. Morning sunlight tells your brain it's daytime, which helps regulate the release of melatonin, your body's sleep hormone. When you get that early light exposure, it shuts off melatonin for the day, making you feel more alert and improving mood. Then, when the sun goes down, your brain knows it's time to start producing melatonin again, naturally preparing you for sleep. For seniors, this is especially important. As we age, our circadian rhythms can weaken and melatonin levels can decline. That's why many older adults feel sleepy too early, wake up during the night, or rise far too early in the morning. Getting sunlight early in the day helps reinforce your sleep-wake cycle and reduces those irregular patterns. So how do you do it? Step outside shortly after waking, even if it's just onto a balcony, front porch, or near a sunny window. Sit with a cup of tea, take a short walk, or do light stretches. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is far stronger and more effective than indoor lighting. And try to avoid sunglasses during these few minutes. Your eyes need that natural light to trigger the right hormonal responses, because when you start your day with sunlight, you're not just waking up your body, you're setting the stage for better, deeper sleep later that night. Sleep fix number 4. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. If falling asleep or staying asleep has become harder with age, your bedroom environment may be part of the problem. Many seniors unknowingly sleep in rooms that are too warm, too bright, or too noisy. And even subtle disturbances can prevent your body from entering the deep, restorative stages of sleep. Let's start with temperature. Your core body temperature naturally drops at night to help signal sleep. But if your room is too warm, your body can't cool down properly, which leads to restless sleep, night sweats, and frequent waking. Experts recommend setting your bedroom temperature between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 19 degrees Celsius, for optimal sleep. Light is another silent saboteur. Even small amounts, from streetlights, alarm clocks, or hallway lights, can reduce melatonin production and disrupt your sleep cycle. If you're waking up in the middle of the night or struggling to fall into deep sleep, light pollution might be to blame. Then there's noise. Whether it's ticking clocks, outside traffic, or household sounds, background noise can fragment your sleep and pull you out of the deeper stages. You may not even remember waking, but your brain does. So what's the fix? Make your bedroom a true sleep sanctuary. Lower the thermostat before bed. Use blackout curtains to block outdoor light and cover or dim any glowing electronics. Consider wearing a sleep mask and earplugs if needed. If total silence feels unsettling, try a soft white noise machine or fan to create a steady, calming background sound. And keep your bedroom for sleep only, not work, TV, or scrolling. This trains your brain to associate that space with rest and recovery. Because when your sleep environment works with your body, not against it, you don't just sleep more, you sleep better. Sleep fix number 5. Use relaxation techniques to ease into sleep. Sometimes the biggest barrier to restful sleep isn't physical, it's mental. Racing thoughts, worries about the day ahead, or even just an overactive mind can keep you lying in bed, tired but unable to drift off. For seniors, especially those living alone or managing health concerns, nighttime can become a time of tension instead of peace. That's where relaxation techniques come in. By intentionally calming your mind and body before bed, you signal to your nervous system that it's safe to let go, allowing sleep to come naturally rather than being forced. One of the most effective methods is deep breathing. Try the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale slowly for 8. Repeat for 4 to 5 cycles. This helps lower heart rate and activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode. Another option is progressive muscle relaxation. Start at your toes and slowly tense, then relax each muscle group up through your body. Feet, legs, hips, shoulders, arms, all the way to your face. This physical release mirrors what your mind should be doing, letting go. If your thoughts are the issue, try thought dumping. Writing down worries or tasks in a notebook before bed so your brain doesn't have to hold on to them. Or use guided audio meditations or sleep stories to shift your focus away from looping thoughts. The goal isn't to silence your mind completely. It's to give it something soothing and gentle to focus on so your body can follow the cue and relax. Because real sleep starts not with a quiet room, but with a quiet mind. And the more you practice relaxing on purpose, the more effortlessly sleep will come. Night after night. As we age, sleep often becomes more fragile, but that doesn't mean we're powerless. In fact, once you understand the small daily habits that shape your rest, you can start taking real control over how well you sleep. Not someday, but starting tonight.